For this project, we'll be needing 3 shapes: a granny square, half a granny square, and a pentagon. We'll be needing 29 pieces of a granny square, 1 piece of half a granny square, and 1 piece of a pentagon. Let me know in the comment section if you want a tutorial on how to make this granny square, pentagon, and half granny square. To join these squares together, we'll be making use of a bigger hook. I crocheted these squares with a 4.0mm hook, and I'll be joining it with a 5.0mm hook. To join this, we'll be placing the front sides together. That is the first thing to note, and we'll be working on the back loop only. That is the second thing to note. And for the part where we have 2 chains at the middle of each cluster, we'll be working on 1 chain and leaving the other chain for the other side. So whichever chain that is close to whichever side, we'll be working on that chain for that side, and we'll be leaving the other chain for the other side. Right now, my hook is inserted on the second chain, and the part I'm using my hand to explain, I'm skipping the first chain and I'm working on the second chain. I'm going to insert my hook on the second chain, and I'm inserting just in the back loop only, skipping the front loop. And I'll be making slip stitches into this. First of all, I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm going to insert my hook into the slip knot and pull it out of this. Then I'm going to make slip stitches all the way down, working on the back loop only. At this point, I am done making slip stitches on the back loop only, and I also worked on the very first chain in between our cluster. And I'm not going to work on the second chain because the second chain is meant for the other side. To join the next squares, I'm going to chain 1 before joining. I just placed the next squares right side facing each other. I am explaining with my hands where I'm going to be working on, and I'm trying to say that I'm going to skip the very first chain in the middle of this cluster and work on the second chain, because that very first chain is meant for this other side and not the side that you're about to work in. And I'm going to do the same thing, which is slip stitching in the back loop only down to the next, or rather down to the end of the row. And when I get there, I'm going to chain 1 and work on the next squares. To start joining our squares together, I'm going to teach you how to lay this down. The very first thing you do is place half your granny square in the middle, and then count out 8 granny squares. Place 1 granny square directly under the one you placed in the middle, which is half the granny square, and place 3 on the left hand side and place 4 on the right hand side, as I'm doing right now. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I placed 3 on the other side, not for 1, 2, and 3. Now for the next row, we're going to be using 9 granny squares and that 1 pentagon we made. We would be placing our pentagon on the right hand side, and the very last square we have on the right hand side, or rather under the very last square we have on the right hand side. And then we're going to go ahead to place other squares below every other square we have. And when we get to the middle, we're going to place it the same way we placed the other one, which is exactly under it, but it should be pointing downwards, like I'm explaining with my hands here. And then I'm going to go ahead and place the other squares beneath or under the rest. For the third row, we'll be needing 12 granny squares, and this row is beneath the crotch area. So this row forms the leg hole of our short. So each leg is meant to get 6 granny squares, but there will be some explanations as to why one side would get 7 and the other side would get 5. Now on the side that has the pentagon, we're going to place 2 granny squares beneath it, like I'm doing. 2 granny squares beneath or under the pentagon, and that is going to form something like a V, but that is exactly what we are trying to achieve. And then we're going to go ahead and place the rest under every other square we have. Under this very one that we keep straight pointing down, we're not going to place anything under it. We are going to place just under the squares, but we're not going to repeat that process where we place a square pointing downwards. So this part gets 5 squares and the other part gets 7 squares, but that is for now, because in the process of joining this whole shot together, each leg is going to get 6 squares each. So the first place to join after setting this is the place I am explaining or pointing to with my hands. Then the second place to join is the second one I pointed to with my hands. So when I'm done joining this, we'll come back and join the third and the fourth row. So this is these first 2 places to join. Right now I'm done joining those places. Now we're going to join. As you can see, it's joined already. And then for the second, or rather the third and the fourth row to join, I'll be explaining that too. So for the third row to join, we are going to join this part I am pointing with my crochet hook. And the fourth row to join is this one that has the pentagon and 2 granny squares beneath it. To join the fourth row, we are going to be careful not to make mistakes because we have 2 squares beneath our pentagon. We're going to join each squares as I'm explaining, or I have explained with my hand movement. Now I am done joining the third and the fourth row, and you can see the movement of my hands. That is exactly the next places we'll be joining, from top to bottom. We are not going to leave out the half granny square. If you notice, I did explain or move my hand from the top to bottom, and it included the half granny square. If you need to, you can reverse the video to see better. I'm done joining all squares together, and I'm going to fold my work to turn this into a short. So we're going to fold this part and fold the second part, and we're going to also join the same way we did on the last 7 rows we joined. So we're going to join this. We're going to ignore this place I'm touching right now, okay, because it's the crotch area, but we're still going to join just straight up the first place I showed you, but ignore the V area because that is the crotch area. We'll get back to the crotch area. So at this point I am done joining that place, and of course I ignored the V area, and this is me turning this whole thing around to show you what it looks like. Now that's this V area, we're going to put it together and we're going to join to complete our shot. So this part that looks like a V, we're going to place it together and join from one side to the other. It doesn't matter what side you started from, but that is what is going to form the 2 leg holes for our short, and that is it. After this, I'm going to go ahead and do single crochet on the ends of each short and also on the base of the short too. I did not make a ribbon because the short was big enough for me, and making a ribbon will make it bigger. But of course, by all means, if you intend to add a ribbon to the waist area, you can add yours, but I did not add that. this is what this short looks like on me. Thank you all so much for visiting my channel. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment box. I'll make sure to attend to every questions. If you have issues with assembling these shorts, you could also send that in the comment box, and I would see if I can do another video to explain more. Also, if you're wondering how I made these granny squares, you could also leave that in the comment section so I can make a video tutorial on how to make the granny squares.